Thanks for taking the time to join me on my channel, Nigel's View on Things. How you doing? How you keeping? Hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. Been at work and I haven't been feeling the best and just had no time to make a video. But now I'm here, let me show you a couple of bits and pieces, some subscriber pictures and a couple of stories that you're going to laugh at. Darbu77, I'll leave the links to his channel in the description box down below. New Jersey voters furious as Governor Murphy prepares to sign in a rain tax into law. I think this is going to be a very, very big story. And just over here we got Rex Bear from the Leak Project. Dude sues his parents for being born without his consent. Says humans are pointless and evil, and links to his channel yet again down below. Hey, I'm sure the world's gone mad. So let's have a look at some pictures from you, the subscribers. And if you've sent me pictures in and I haven't replied to you, I'm very, very sorry. These pictures from Unknown Prophet. Thanks for sending these in. And yeah, our sky looks right because we've got a horseshoe in our sky. That's a natural thing to see. Yeah, what is right about that? Chemtrails in the pattern. They're using a frequency to control the weather. And that's why we get this. Why we get this effect here, well, not rightly too sure. But it certainly doesn't look right. We've got this here. Absolutely. Patterning in the sky. Many people are starting to see this. And if we just look here, it looks like a footprint in the sky. There's the hill. And yeah. Of course, this is natural, normal. This one here just reminds me of an LED light up in the sky with a shade on. I mean, why are we getting this? We shouldn't really be seeing this at all. And our colour of our sky, there is a sun simulator. It is LED. Let me just show you something. These are incandescent lights. This is an LED light. The shades are creamy colour, and the light that's being collected here is blue. What colour is this? What colour is this? This is lighter. This is darker because it's got a shade on it. Chemtrail clouds. What are the chances? Very slim. I think you might say an LED light in the sky. For me, even more proof. What are the chances? It looks almost identical. But yet, many people out there will still be doubting what I've got to say. You don't need to believe me, honest. And thanks to Charlie W for sending this picture in, and we're going to have a look at a few more of his pictures as well. And yes, that is an LED torch in the sky. Very small light, big lens, and that's what we get, white. I'll prove it to you in a sec. Our sun's still there in the sky, no sun, no life. End of story. What colour is our sun? They call it a yellow gas giant for a reason. The sun simulator's in front of the sun. It's very, very close to us. Think prospective. Stick your finger over the sun, it just disappears. The sun simulator has a lens in front of it. And we know this to be true because if we look up into the skies, we get to see a sun halo. Don't need a camera for that. Of course, they call those ice crystals, but that is the lens system being projected backwards onto the chemtrails or particulates. The idea of the sun simulator is to hide the shadows of the planets. Just think when the moon goes across and eclipses our sun and produces a shadow on our Earth. So what the sun simulator does is take that shadow away, just like a great big flashlight on a camera, hides the shadows. Every time the sun sets and sun rises, we always get a carpet of clouds, chemtrails. Nowhere else in the sky, just when it rises and sets. Look at the green lens flare in a V. That's totally normal. And we can see the reflection of the sun simulator just here. And we've got another lens flare going on here. And these pillars of light look like an X. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Green lens flare. Of course, nothing wrong. So you don't believe that there's a sun simulator in the sky? Let me show you this picture then. Now we introduce the light again Incandescent lights look like our sun. LED light looks like our sun simulator. Hey, you make your own minds up. Yeah, again, still many people out there going, yeah, you're talking rot knowledge. Absolutely. You don't need to believe me. It's there for everybody to see. When I was younger, and some of you might actually remember this, especially if you were in the UK, on a Saturday we used to open newspapers to the sports section. At the back there used to be a football section, soccer for you people over the pond, and we used to have a game called Spot the Ball. What used to happen, you used to put an X where you thought the ball was so you could win a lot of money. I wonder if that's a similar sort of thing that's going on here. X marks where the planet is, the new version. Why are they doing this? Is this where you dig a hole and find some gold? Oh no, that's at a rainbow. And we can see a rainbow there. This really does prove to me there's a lensing system in front of our sun simulator because of this prism effect. What are they doing to our skies? They're trying to hide something. We know this. It's down to global climate change. They're using the guise of global climate engineering to fight the effects of you burning your dinner, having barbecues and having fun. That's what that's all about. They're blocking the sky out for a reason. To obviously hide something, and yeah, this picture just says it all to me. It looks like they've been driving their car through the sky. It also looks like they've been doing donuts in the sky. X yet again marks the spot. Interesting lens flares round here. Very, very red. Each and every single picture, it's always red. Yet again, they're sliding through the sky. This is just normal to most people. People just look up and take no notice in whatsoever. That's just a normal thing to see. We see it on films now, we see it on TV. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at this. Are they spraying something new in our sky? Looks like an oil slick. Yeah. Most people look at that and go, that's just water vapour. If you think that's water vapour, I've got a great business opportunity for you, and I would like to sell you some powder water. Send me an email and I'll give you all the details. 1,000 large, you're in. Yet again, people just take a look at things and go, there's nothing wrong. But if you get a camera, we get to see all sorts. A lens flare that looks like an arrow. This used to be red, it's now turning blue. And we can see the lens being projected backwards. Just here. Everything's fine. Don't worry. And just looking at this picture, scalar clouds. This looks like a mushroom. And it's red. Oh, slick in the sky. Yeah. But it's a common thing. Every time we get to see chemtrails in the sky, 99% of the time, it rains the next day. Nice. Now, here's a picture that's a rarity. Have a look. Tell me what you can see that's wrong. Well, for me, I've been living underneath a cloud for the last 3 months. It's been dank, dreary, horrible, raining, snowing. Well, yeah. Maybe a bit broken cloud every now and then, and we get to see this object here. But blue skies, what a rarity. We can see the chemtrail particulates in the background. It turns it into a big one-way mirror just down here. Nice and blue up here. Blue lens flare, and then we've got this object here. Very, very strange. Not rightly too sure. Might be a reflection of maybe a plane. Yeah. Blue skies. To be truthful, you could look at this picture and go, well, there's nothing wrong. Charlie, thank you very much for the pictures. Stephen W. from the UK sent me these pictures, and this picture says it all. Right time, right place. Take that picture. Right angle. Everything's got to match up, and we get pictures like this. Look up in the sky, we get to see absolutely nothing. That's the way the system works. The aid of a digital camera helps us see so much more than what our human eye can see. Hexagonals everywhere. This is a new thing that's going on. Lens flares. This effect I would expect to see if there was a disco ball up in the sky, or maybe a lensing or mini lenses, and that is exactly what we can prove by looking at the prism effect going on here. Why is it so black around this object that's meant to be our sun? It's not round, it's jaggedy. How come it's very, very locally lit? You can see it's dark over here, very, very light over here. Everything about this picture is so wrong. Hey. Then we got this picture here. Same effects. Is this being taken through a window? Not rightly too sure. It gives it added effects, but it doesn't take anything away. And we still get to see quite a lot going on. Because, yet again, we've got all these lens flares. What you've got to understand about a lens flare, you can draw a line straight the way through. And that proves that is a lens flare. But interesting, a lens flare inside of a lens flare. A lens flare tells a story. It's a representation of a light source. If you focus in on that lens flare, and you will get to see what the original object is. Red object, red object, red object. Petal effect. It seems to have changed. It looks like the lens is moving, and we get to see a much different effect to what we were seeing maybe a year ago. So it's still there, but it is definitely changed. Green, green, green. And the lens in effect just here, that's being projected backwards onto the lens of the camera. And that is normal because what is right with that picture? And yet again, another picture, and we get to see what we call our sun and sun simulator, or whatever you like to call it, up in the sky, and it's looking like that. See the lens being projected backwards, and we've got these hexagonals again, and we've seen this lens flare before. Blue, very, yeah, okay, nothing wrong. When I start seeing a recurrence of pictures from other people across the other side of the world, and they sort of like look very similar to what we've just been looking at, that must be some sort of coincidence, isn't it? Charlie M from Ontario, Canada sent me this picture, and thank you very much for that. We got the chemtrail haze in the background here, and it's being lit up by the sun and sun simulator. You've got no chance of seeing through that. It would just look like a big one-way mirror. A bit of a rainbow effect going on here. Quite strange. Look how this is being projected. Of course, it's normal. Looking over here, it's looking a little bit red. Over here, we got these diamonds or whatever it might be, but a lens flare within a lens flare within a lens flare. Of course, that's normal. I'm sure there's a logical explanation. I'm sure there is. I just can't think of one. Hexagonal. Hexagonal. Yeah. Beam of light. Just here we've got an object, and just in the centre, it's black. Very red around the outside. Absolutely normal. What? Yeah, why are we getting these strange looking cloud just here? Very strange. Chemtrail, sorry, chemtrail. Green. Yet again, green. Hexagonal. Pinky red. Green hexagonal. And green just here. Very red. What is normal? Yeah, totally a normal bit. We get to see this all the time, and we can just about make out the part of the petal effect. Just here. Look at this. This says, yeah, looks very red just here. We've got hexagons going on just here and here. And why are we getting this effect here? Maybe because there's a big red object coming towards us from behind the sun. Is that a possibility? Outstanding picture. I'd like to see you explain that lens flare. And then we get this picture, which happens to look like the rest of the pictures we just looked at. We've got this rainbow effect going on here. Hexagons again, petal effect. And we get this petal effect because they've moved the lenses. And because they've moved the lenses, it makes a softer focus, whereas before it was much sharper and more defined. It's beginning to look like one picture looks like the other picture, which looks like the other picture, which leads me to believe all the cameras in the world are faulty. No, that's not the answer. It just shows me that what we're looking at is there in the sky. And the last picture from Dave, thanks for sending them in. Chemtrail haze in the sky. Lots and lots of chemicals. Of course it's water vapour. It's only clouds. being lit up by, what do you call this object? Some people call it our sun. If you like, very, very red around the outside. We've got this object here, white on the inside, blue on the outer, blue down here. There is a blue object coming in with the red object, and there's a green object coming in as well. We've seen all three colours. Petal effect around the outside. We've got this rainbow going on here. So anybody likes to doubt what I'm saying, where are the pictures from 10 years ago that look like this? Because I've never seen pictures ever that look like this, only until very, very recently. For me, what I'm looking at here is a star that you stick on top of a Christmas tree, lit up. Hey, go figure. Jono from the UK sent me these pictures. Thank you very much. They're dated 3rd of February 2019. Time on the first picture is 11:24. In the background, we got these chemtrails. We got this object here that's lighting this object here. Very, very local by the looks of things. This is very, very dark. Petal effect around the outside. It seems to go along with most of the pictures that I've shown. Then we've got this one, which is 11:27. Hexagonal object here. We've got this lens flare, which is green here, with that pinky purpley object just here. There seems to be a theme with these hexagonal things in the sky. These lens flares. Technology there in our sky. 11:42, this picture. Green, and this is a little bit more defined. We have an object just there, and a lens flare just here. Very strange looking lens flare, to say the least. It looks like a Christmas bulbul or a lime. It looks like a lime in the sky. And we've got this petal effect going on here. 11:53, this picture. Everything becomes a little bit more defined. And we got this lens flare, which is green, and we've seen this before. This object, hexagonal lens flare just here, green object here, blue object here, hexagonal lens flare here, and here. And we've got this object that's meant to be an chemtrail plane. Ooh, look, trying to spoil something. Well, you've got to understand, we can have lens flares. That isn't a problem. But when we start getting hexagonal ones, if we had the old type cameras, that might be different because they've got a hexagonal shutter, and you might actually get a lens flare that looks like this. These cameras don't have hexagonal shutters. Technology, yet again, in our skies. Before we have a look at the next picture, I just want to give a channel shout out. Joanne, links to her channel in the description box down below. Have a look at this picture. We can see that there's something just here, and we've got our, well, some people call this our sun. Very, very red around the outside. If you would like to know what happens next, please go over, watch the video, share the love, thumbs it up, and yet again, she does a great job in getting the information out there and find some great gems. So please think about subscribing, because that is another way to get information, and we're very, very short upon that. At any rate, let's continue. Many times through the video I've talked about a lens system in front of the sun simulator. That can be seen when we look up and we see that sun halo. You know, the one that's made of ice crystals, they keep on telling us is a rare event. I talk about a rare event like, oh, I've won the lottery. That's a rare event. But yeah, we get to see this every single day. How rare can that be? Makes you wonder. To understand what I'm talking about, let me show you something. We were looking at a 3-watt LED torch being projected onto a door. Now, if I superimpose that picture onto R.S. Turner's picture, guess what? It looks exactly the same. We get the bluing around the outside. This is our sun simulator, and here's the lens effect. I'm just saying, what a coincidence. To me, it looks identical. So hopefully you've got an idea what I'm trying to say. There's a lens system in front of our sun simulator, and we get to see it every now and then. Like I've always said, if you point your camera towards the sky, right time, right place, right angle, everything marries up, we get some outstanding pictures. Back to Jono's pictures, 11:59, and yeah, it's out of focus. At 12 o'clock, we get one of those outstanding pictures. What we're looking at here is the sun simulator. Around the outside of that is the lens of the sun simulator. Around the outside of that, lens flare of the sun simulator, and you can see that there. Let me just outline this lens for you. For me, just more proof that there is a lens in front of the sun simulator, more proof that the sun simulator exists. Many people will still look at this and go, yeah, well, you're crazy, camera abnormalities, lens flares, you're nuts. Just look round and see what's happening. To connect all the dots, look at the bigger picture, because there is a much bigger picture. Once you connect all the dots, that is, it tells a different story. You don't need to believe what I've got to say. I'm just showing you and telling you what I think. Of course, I'm absolutely nuts. Like I've always said though, nothing's coming because our governments would have told us now. Ain't that right? They told us everything about 9. Yeah, at any rate, that's all I've got for you now. Much love, much peace, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.